My notes here call you the king of consistency. At this point, what has that consistency added up to?
This will be program 65 finished for me.
Wow. So we count that we've got about 120 programs on the platform, and you say you've done over half of them.
Yep.
That is phenomenal. Hi, and welcome to the BODi Experience. This is where we help you navigate the challenges of staying consistent with your fitness, with your healthy eating, by learning from people who had to conquer their own obstacles to achieve what are probably some pretty outrageous results. So today we're going to talk to Bradd Goede, who's actually, check this out, a Shakeology 365er. That means somebody who basically drinks Shakeology every single day, but he's been doing it for 13 years straight. So let's bring Bradd on and find out what drives him, learns his tricks for staying consistent, and just see what it takes to work out at home and really get results that are meaningful. Hey, Bradd, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Carl?
I'm doing awesome, man. Thanks so much for joining me on the BODi Experience. Okay, my notes here call you the king of consistency. You have been a BODi user for over a decade. Have you really stayed consistent through it all, or have you had struggles along the way?
I think big picture, I would say I've stayed consistent through all of it. Started in 2008 after about the 200th time watching Tony on an infomercial and wondering if this stuff was legit or not. I had been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis back in 2000, knew I needed to get a little bit more added to my lifestyle. I was coaching 3 sports, I was teaching. So I was putting a lot out there for other people, but for me, I needed to take some of that back and get a little selfish with myself. So I'm on year 16 now. If I'm going hard on a program, I might take a week or 2 off, but outside of that, no, I'm still going on year 16.
But let's drill into, 17 years ago. What 2006, 2007, what were you struggling with? Why didn't you have it all under control? Because you literally are a machine now. What was going on back then that you needed something like Beachbody or BODi?
Well, again, I think the lifestyle, mindset, everything needed a little bit of a change because obviously I had some of the health issues that I was dealing with or potentially could be dealing with an autoimmune disease. Um, I was active. I still played men's league basketball, played my last state tournament when I was 45 years old. I was doing tennis tournaments in my 50s. But again, all active that way, but not really training my body for the future. And I was kind of hitting that skinny fat moment. So I was doing the activities, I was enjoying the activities, but I wasn't feeling like I was getting stronger. I wasn't feeling like I was getting healthier and just burning the candle at both ends of the spectrum.
So how did P90X resonate with you? What happened that it threw a switch for you that you could achieve this kind of consistency and the kind of results that, I mean, you tag me just about every night in Instagram. So I see what you're up to. What did P90X do to throw that switch?
Well, there's even another interesting side to that story because, like a lot of infomercial or online orders and stuff, I had my doubts. Is this going to be legit? Is this going to work? So I actually did the entire first round of P90X with no weights. I did one single resistance band because I didn't know if I wanted to invest in it. I didn't know if it was legit and I was going to stick with it. So I went through that whole round with just a resistance band. I found I liked the consistency there of showing up each day. And at that time, 3-month long program, I found discipline in myself. And even with that single little band, I started feeling stronger in short span of time. I could see some body changes happening. And I think that's what sold it. If it could work with a band and if I could do it at home, I found there was something legit there. And that was the hook.
So, but and it's just always fascinating to me. I've been running this company now for 25 years, and to see how something that where we create it here, and how it then finds its way home. Like I would imagine in some cases that you figure out the moves, you figure out the order of things, what's a good workout, what you should do on which day so that you're staying consistent, and maybe you don't even need the content. What is it about the content, the presentation, the trainers that keeps bringing you back? Because you could achieve this consistency on your own without a subscription. I'm just curious what it is about this particular ecosystem that resonates with you.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned ecosystem because I'm going to date myself and you. I was part of the Wowie gym way back then. Uh, I actually got into it for myself, but I actually think I stuck with it because the community behind it. And to me, that's one of the biggest things now, um, the community support and everything. So even then, it wasn't as massive as it is now. It wasn't as involved as it is now. Is basically just typing on a forum and other people that were doing the same thing as you. You know, I didn't know about coaches or anything like that. It was just other people all over the place doing what I was doing, and it was interesting validating my own work because I heard them going through the same thing.
Mm,
So the community helped, but being in coaching and sports for my whole life, it was real interesting to me how on a video, a lot of the personalities that came across, you almost felt like they could be in the room talking to you. And I mean, giving cues and things like that. And it's gotten so much more technical lately in an educational way
mm,
where you feel like they're right there with you. And the trainers' personalities have been so great to just keep you in that.
yeah. Have you ever met any of the trainers? I wonder what that's like having worked out with them on TV for many years and then you meet them. What's that about?
Yeah, I've met pretty much all of them over the years at summits and live events and so on. Um, and again, for a lot of them, what you see on the videos is what they come across when they're not on the videos. Um, I would say the best thing is everyone shows a true care when you meet them. So it's almost like you've known them for your whole life. I guess nowadays you would say parasocially, but you could pick up a conversation about something that happened in a workout, and all of a sudden that would transform, morph into just, hey, what was happening last week, and so on. So I mean, it's just like your trainer at the gym after this many years.
Yeah. So you've got this relationship with a trainer on TV. You've gotten to meet him in person a little bit. Now, how I said you're the king of consistency. Um, at this point, what has that consistency added up to? I think I heard you talking about the number, but I'm gonna let you reveal it because it's pretty outstanding. And then I want to challenge you because I can't imagine that there weren't struggles along the way. But what are you up to in terms of consistency right now?
Well, right now I'm just about done with week 6 of Dig Deeper. And for me, this, when I get through it the first time, and yes, first time, there'll be more. This will be program 65 finished for me.
Oh, really? You've
Yeah.
done 65. So we count that we've got about 120 programs on the platform, and you say you've done over half of them.
Yep.
That is phenomenal. Now, is there as you go from program to program, is there a certain objective that you have with each one? Are you just trying a new thing, investigating them? How do you choose what you're going to do?
Well, to be honest, some of this has morphed a little bit with some of the messaging from BODi uh, on the partner side of things. I actually used to just do it once I got into coaching. I used to do whatever came up next in the queue because I wanted to be able to talk about that, what I liked, what I didn't like, what it was really like with any people that were asking to get into that. But with some of the stuff that has been talked about through BODi now about make yourself the focus, you know, um, take care of what you want to do because that's going to show everybody else you have your true love for it and so on. So as I mean, I'll turn 57 in about 5 weeks. And now that makes it more important than ever to get in my resistance training and things like that. Because when I started, I wanted to keep playing basketball. I wanted to keep playing tennis, baseball. So a lot of the programs I did then, Insanity and things like that, there were a lot more conditioning. There were a lot of things in there that you could transfer into some of the athletics that you're doing. Where now I like walking upstairs and not having sore knees. I want to get up easy. I want to pick things up. I want to look at 60, 70, 80 years old. So my mindset's changed over time.
Yeah, I get it. Now, uh, as I mentioned at the opening, fitness and that variety, that's not the only thing that you're consistent with. You're a 13-year Shakeology drinker. Let's go into that a little bit, because that's a long time. And I mean, Shakeology's just coming up on its 15-year anniversary. Why Shakeology? What is it about the product that keeps you coming back, and how do you use it?
And that actually ties back into that ulcerative colitis diagnosis for me, because in my specific situation, a lot of my issues with that came down to nutrient absorption and issues like that. And it could fluctuate. So there was nothing consistent. And at the time, not taking it medically or anything, but it gave me a little balance where I knew what I was taking in was going to be healthy and good for my body and could potentially offset a little bit of that nutrient absorption issues. And even before I did that, I had about a 6-year relationship with my current internalist, and I took all the Shakeology stuff to him to see ingredients and concentrations and everything. And at the time, again, not medically prescribed, but he
Yeah.
said he thought that this was an amazing thing. Again, as long as I knew it was a supplement and
Mhm.
potentially could help offset some of those things. So that's where I started.
Mhm. And but 13 years is a long time. And have you tried other stuff? Have you investigated what else is out there, or you just stayed the course?
Nah, I've been pretty loyal. That's kind of my MO for a lot of things.
Mm.
But I mean, I didn't ever find a reason why it wasn't working for me. I didn't find a reason why I didn't like it. Um, I might be one of the oddballs in this, but with flavors and stuff, I see a lot of companies selling different kinds of things and they have 8,000 different versions and all that. And I saw for how long Body kind of stuck with tried and true, made fixes where they needed to, didn't try to wow everybody with everything under the sun. And to me, I felt a little more confident in a product because
Mm.
of that. I knew it wasn't change, 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 and just go to the next greatest thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, it's funny. That's Isabel and Darren, the co-formulators of that product. We were talking the other day, and like they're the first to admit that they are super annoying, because like they'll be in a room, they'll be talking to corporate and talking about the discipline we've got around testing and sourcing, and they're like a dog with a sock. Like if they've got an expectation of what should go into Shakeology, what we call nutrition synergy needs to look like, so that these things all work together, so that you don't just need to have 100 different elements in the bag. What you need to have is the right formulation, so all these things balance together and you get sort of these enzyme processes, these interactions. That's really the way nature works. Stuff works together, not as an isolated substance. And they are so vigilant about that experience. And I think, that's why, look, I've been drinking it for 15 years. So I know, uh, I'm the king of consistency on Shakeology. And frankly, for me, recently, my thing, and I just started it probably 5 months ago, is last thing. Now, I've been taking first thing uh, since it launched, but I had a different protocol for sleep, and that stopped working for me. So about 4 or 5 months ago, I started last thing and was blown away with what this product did for me for sleeping through the night. And I understand that you also have started with last thing. Why were you having a hard time sleeping, do you think?
well, I think stresses of teaching. I'm in my 30th year as a high school teacher and all the years of coaching and everything. And like I said, you just wear your body down and you can talk all you want about supplements, you can talk all you want about workouts, all of that stuff, but you still have to step back and take care of your body and get that balance again. And I didn't have that.
Mm.
So anything that could help, I was willing to make a try with that, because if I fell behind at night, it was just going to compound itself into the next day.
Yep, that's the way it works. So what time of day do you work out?
I detest the 3 and 4 a.m. people in terms of their choices. Uh, and part of mine was because I was coaching and everything, so game nights and all of that, but I still did nights because for me, a lot of people want to do that bright and early in the morning and get their day off to a great start and try to promise themselves they're not going to miss their workout. For me, with all the stresses that come in the day of the classroom and everything, I like to end my day kind of wiping the day away, finishing off feeling real good about myself personally. And like I said before, kind of being a little selfish. But then once that workout's done, it kind of ends my day a little bit.
Yeah, well, that would explain to me why you need last thing. I am the exact opposite. So my approach is I need to literally own the morning, and like that's the time that I get. I can't say that I'm a 3 a.m.er, but I'll try to get up between 4:30 and 5:30, and it depends on what time the work day is going to start. But I've got to get it all done right away. Like I'll take my first thing, take my energize, and get that workout done. And within, an hour, hour and a half, I know that I've done what I need to do. And then I have my shake. I'll have my post workout recover and then my Shakeology. I know that I have done so much more than I used to do for myself. And it's not even 8 a.m. yet, So I'm that morning person, but I do see people, and it's like sort of the same crew. I probably get, I don't know, 100 people will tag me in their night workouts. So I'll wake up and I'll get all these tags, and it just blows me away that people can work out at night. But whatever strips your trigger, man, however it's going to work for you. Now, my understanding is that with that, how many days in a row have you strung together?
Oh, I would have to look again. I just looked before the interview started. 5,600 something. September
That's
8th, September 14th, 2008 is the picture I took on my first day of P90X.
that is amazing. How many rounds of P90X have you done?
I did 2 back to back. Then, after being terrified of Sean and the infomercial for Insanity, I did it anyway.
Mm.
And after I did that once, I went back and did a third round of P90X. But then I've also done X2 and X3 and the one on ones. And
Hmm.
yeah,
Wow. And right now, looking back at 65 programs, um, is the first one like your first love, or have you gone through different relationships with the workouts? Can you give the listener any feel for which one they might want to pick out right now based on your experience?
yeah, my answer is the one, because people ask this all the time when I put an update after 63rd one done, 64th one done. They always want to know what's my favorite. And they don't believe me sometimes, but it's whatever one I'm doing,
Hmm.
because I'm honest with myself in the fact that I'm not going to torture myself and put myself through something I don't like. So if I actually got into a program and it just wasn't vibing with me, I wouldn't keep doing it. So whatever I'm doing at the time is my favorite. I prefer more the resistance, like we talked, because of my goals moving forward in life. But I'm a terrible dancer, but I danced just to make fun of myself when I did those. And sometimes I just needed that break in between, because yes, you can lift for 50 years straight and get great things out of it, but sometimes your mind needs a swerve. And so when you tell people, find something you're going to like and do it, you're less likely to quit. That's where some of my consistency has come from, because I haven't bounced all around, but at the same time, I haven't stuck with one thing nonstop and got sick of it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, I just want to say we are extremely grateful for people like you, and you in particular, because you always show up. I see you doing the big launches. I see you at the events, And I appreciate your support. This company over 25 years has been through a lot of changes, and there's more changes coming. Hopefully, all improvements that people love. We're trying to reach as many people as possible. But the fact that you continue to inspire all of us, and tagging me and giving me a chance to see what consistency really looks like, so I can see what kind of impact we're having on our subscribers. I'm just so grateful, and I just appreciate you, Bradd, and appreciate you taking the time to join me here on the BODi Experience.
Thank you. And my last word that I would throw out there to anyone that's looking for stuff is don't overthink it. Find something you like, give it a try. If it works, keep it up. If it doesn't work, there's tons of other things out there in body world.
That's all. Well, look, anybody who's listening, who's ready to start, everything about your quality of life will be enhanced by being more active, by improving the quality of your nutrition and your eating choices. You can get access to 120 workouts. Each one of them is a sample of our BODi programs. Like Bradd did 65 of them. You can sample them for free on BODiPreviews.com. That's BODi Previews.com. And that's $60 of content that you can have for life for free. And you can even do a 14 workout challenge and see if you can lose 3 to 5 pounds in just 14 workouts. And we've seen it over and over again. And that's all available to you just in exchange for joining our email list. And you can go to BODiPreviews.com and see which program speaks to you. And if you have already had a great BODi experience that you'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. You can submit your story to @BODiStories. Again, that's BODi with an I on Instagram, and the team will take a look. And if you also want to get updates from me, whenever we post a new episode of the BODi Experience or get special offers and announcements, you can join my little private text community by texting me from your phone at 818-650-4369. And I guess if your cellular carrier charges you for text, that'll cost you money. But it's 818-650-4369, and I send out texts every other week or so when something special is going on. You just follow the prompts, and that'll help me get to know you a little bit. Okay, that's it for today. Bradd Goede was our guest today. And let me just say, like Bradd, you deserve to feel great. You deserve health esteem. You deserve to feel great about yourself just for showing up. And every day we want you to be excited and motivated like Bradd to pursue life-changing results. BODi's here to help you do exactly that, because everybody wins when you get healthy results. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Bradd, and I'll see you guys next time.